Hello everyone, welcome in right now here into our live coverage here. We are tracking several tornado warnings at this time. I know we have probably a long night ahead of us right now, especially if you do live in Mississippi and all that. So we have a lot to pay attention to as we go on throughout the next couple of hours. We're going to be paying attention to this here, but we do have multiple warnings active right now. I have multiple screens up right now to give you guys the latest information currently. So we're going to take a look here. We're going to go back to the single site radar here and take a look. We're going to start jumping into some of these tornado warnings because we do actually have a couple, and some of them are observed, and we do have considerable threats on some of them. So let's go over here to Port Arthur. Port Arthur has an observed tornado warning right now. On this one. So the Port Arthur, you have a tornado warning right now active for your guys' area. This is an observed tornado right now. This is a considerable threat, so particularly dangerous situation. So PDS tornado warning has now been active, and we take a look here at the velocity. Does seem like majority of that rotation is over Sabrine Lake right now, and it does seem like this is pushing up to the northeast, and that's why you can see there's a little bit of an extension with that warning there. So major tornado right now over the water, it seems, water spout as of right now, but very, very strong tight rotation here. And let's head over to the correlation coefficient. We kind of can see maybe a little bit of something over here, maybe something over here as well, some debris being kind of lofted up in the air with that storm necessarily. So Port Arthur, please be making sure if you are live in Port Arthur or you're in the path of the storm, you are taking cover immediately. Let's take a look at another major tornado warning that is actually happening right now, which is this one over here. Yes, so this is the, I guess it was observed, but now it is not observed here. Yeah, so not as big of a threat here. I'm going to take a look here. This is just south of Jackson. Not too far from Jackson right now. The question is, you know, what do we see from this storm? Because this is heading up to the northeast, you know, kind of towards the suburbs of Jackson. So we'll keep an eye out, obviously, on this. But taking a look here, you can definitely see very, very strong storm right now just west of I-55. And let's take a look at that velocity signature here. Velocity signature, we can clearly see, yep, so that does seem like there's probably some pretty, you know, not insanely tight rotation, but that's the reason why there's a tornado warning active right now for this area. So tornado warning is active, just, you know, there is some some rotation, not insanely tight or anything, but we'll definitely see if this gets a little bit more organized. This eventually will be probably crossing over the Interstate 55 here, but, you know, the storm will eventually make its way possibly over here to Crystal Springs, and then possibly Jackson. We will be seeing this. And we are seeing several tornado warnings at this time, so we can jump to the next one here. We'll go to this one really quickly here. Near the radar site, very strong storms kind of heading in. This is where those gusty winds that, you know, if you watched my video earlier, I did talk about how big those winds are going to be and how strong they can be. Taking a look at the velocity signature, yep, and you kind of can see the yellow. That's some pretty strong winds right there. And if we take a look here, yeah, that's reaching 60-mile-an-hour winds, possibly some 70 and some of there as well. And if we continue, you know, to pay attention to this storm, this eventually will be pushing off to the northeast, or I mean to the east here, and that will make it over to Interstate 49. So something to pay attention to right there. Interstate 49, definitely, if you are driving on that, please be making sure you are staying safe and you are prepared for this storm here. And then let's head up to this one on Interstate 20. Seems like that radar is down, so we're gonna have to use this one. That one's having, yeah, that tower is down right there. Taking a look at this, so radar, you know, indicated still for this tornado warning. This is going to be crossing Interstate 20 pretty soon here. We're gonna see this very, very large storm. Actually, this is pretty big storm. Let's take a look at the velocity signature, kind of see what we're dealing with. Yep, so there it is. So right now it does seem like it is crossing over Interstate 20. Right there, it does seem like the rotation is over Delhi. I think that's how you pronounce it, but Delhi, you guys are under that tornado warning, and right now the rotation just over Interstate 20 here Not a clear, big rotation here, but definitely is something. And let's definitely take a look at the correlation coefficient, see if there's anything, and we're not seeing anything associated with that. So that storm is radar indicated. We only have one observed tornado warning, and that one is down here near Port Arthur. It does seem like Port Arthur is not in this tornado warning anymore here, so but it does seem to the east of Port Arthur we're seeing this tornado warning here. And taking a look at that velocity signature, let's see. So yeah, very, very strong velocity, and we've been seeing this being really strong no matter what. We've been seeing it very strong here, and will be eventually pushing its way inland here. So the question is, let me take a look here. How fast is this storm moving? So it's moving east at 25 miles an hour. So we're going to take a look here. We're going to draw this off here. 25 miles an hour. Let's take a look, calculating, and yeah, so it doesn't seem like there's any big populated areas in this area, but definitely a very strong storm tornado right now here on the ground, and did go through Port Arthur. It did seem like it did go through Port Arthur, so very, very strong storm, and there is that special marine warning I am seeing as well. Active right now here. So a very large and destructive tornado kind of seems to be on the forecast for anyone that is in this path here. This has been, on the ground for a little while here. So we're kind of paying attention to that here, and then taking a look at this. Yeah, so taking a look. And remember, if you do have any questions or anything like that, make sure to leave it down in the comments down below, or the chat below. See exactly. See what the velocity signature is kind of taking a look at here, if anything's changed with that. I mean, it's still looking very strong, so we're just gonna have to continue waiting here. Trying to make sure we get everyone notified. I'm tweeting out right now, or posting to X. I don't exactly know what you say anymore, but just to make sure we're getting people aware if they live in these areas. We want to make sure that people are knowing that they need to take cover immediately for the storm. All right, let's zoom back out here on my radar over here. Let's take a look and see. I'm not seeing any new active warnings. As of right now, I'm not seeing any new active warnings. Still going to be paying attention to that one just east of Port Arthur. That seems like our biggest one right now. Let's take a look back at this Interstate 55 one right now. This one is going to be possibly impacting the suburbs of Jackson soon. Maybe later on in the next hour or two we could be seeing this. But this storm is going right over Interstate 55. Velocity signature, taking a look at that. We kind of can see signature kind of... Oh, whoops, it's completely moved. That was the old one. It is kind of over Interstate 55, kind of maybe over Highway 51 now. And this will eventually make its way over here to the northeast, it seems. And let me actually take a look here and see how fast the storm is moving. Yeah, moving northeast here at 40 miles an hour. Moving northeast at 40, so let's draw this really quickly here. So we're going to draw this out and see if what we're taking a look at. So 40 miles an hour here in Hazlehurst, 7 minutes. It will be there. Shady Grove in 9 minutes. And then Crystal Springs, it will be in 20 minutes. This does seem like it's going to go to the east of Interstate 55, so if you are traveling on Interstate 55, make sure you are keeping an eye on this, and especially as this storm kind of just went over Interstate 55 and now is impacting Highway 51. So let's keep an eye out, obviously, on that storm very, very closely here, as that one's going to continue moving off to the northeast. And then the question is, does this storm right here eventually make its way up here to Jackson? It does seem like it's going more to the northeast, so that's good news right there, but we'll have to definitely see, because possibly the suburbs where that radar is located right here around Interstate 20, we could be seeing maybe the storm head up there. And this one does have kind of that kind of hook feature here on radar. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning right now. Let's start going through some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. So this one has a tornado possible over here. So tornado possible with this one. This is over Highway 425. We have this severe thunderstorm warning. You got to find one of the radars that do work here. I guess we're just going to continue with the Jackson one. Taking a look at this velocity does say it. Yeah, so a little bit of a cutoff here, but very, very strong winds are seeming to come through, or 60-mile-an-hour winds. 1 inch in diameter for hail. This will eventually be making its way up here and pushing up to the northeast as well. We're going to see that kind of pushing up to the northeast, and then there's that tornado warning just above it near Delhi here. We're continuing to pay attention to that as this storm was crossing over Interstate 20 and did cross over Interstate 20. Very, very strong, very tight kind of rotation, kind of pushing up over here to the northeast. The big question is, do we see this tornado warning get extended? We'll keep an eye out, obviously, on that one very, very closely here. But as of right now, we're not seeing any brand new tornado warnings or anything like that. But we do have this new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's get to that one. This one does not have any tornado possibility, but this is just about, this is a pretty strong storm here. Considerable threat here with the winds being 70 miles an hour here. This is still in that tornado watch zone, so we could possibly be seeing something later on throughout down the road as it heads into a little bit more favorable environment. But taking a look, very strong gusty winds are going to be coming in here into these areas right here. So if you're driving over Highway 69, you're definitely expecting to possibly see some of these very, very gusty winds coming in on the highway. Remember, if you do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat below. I'll try to answer them the best I possibly can. Let's just take a look at, let's go back to this one over here, Port Arthur, the observed tornado warning right now. Let's take a look back at this. The velocity signature still, wow, that is very strong rotation there. This did just emerge back onto land. I could see that, and the question is, did this actually go over Lakeview? No, so it did go through Port Arthur, and you could clearly see then it headed into Sabine Lake. This was not too long ago. This was about 20 minutes ago, and then pushed up over here to the northeast. Port Arthur, the southern part of Port Arthur, did get impacted by this one very closely. Then went into the to the lake here, turned into a little bit of water spout, and then it's looking like it's getting even stronger here as it continues to push over here to the northeast. So once again, the good news is that there's not a lot of people in this major tornado zone here. Doesn't seem like that. There's not a lot of big population, but still, even if you do live in this area and you kind of are in the country area, please make sure that you are taking shelter immediately. This is a very, very, very dangerous and violent tornado on the ground here. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning here with a tornado possible on this tag. We might be seeing some tornadoes kind of associated with this little line of thunderstorms kind of coming through here, and I think we might be seeing a new tornado warning here soon. Trying to look, I have multiple screens set up trying to give you guys the best information I possibly can, but let's take the velocity signature. So tornado is possible, but the threat is considerable because of the 70-mile-an-hour winds are continuing on, and that's, really is really associated with this big front here. So you'll feel the wind before the rain comes, and once again, this will make its way over here to Highway 165, 165. We're going to just keep an eye out, obviously, on that, but yep, that tornado watch here, you can see that. Let's go back over here. So tornado watch here in several areas. kind of can see it right here. Tornado watch 40 minutes here. If you are in the tornado watch here in Texas, that will expire here in 40 minutes. And then if you head over here into the Louisiana area, heading into Mississippi, 4 hours 40 minutes remaining in yep, all of these. So 4 hours 40 minutes here for majority of this whole area, as we're going to be seeing these for the next couple of hours. But as of right now, we've kind of just stabilized with these tornado warnings. There hasn't been any new ones active, but we're still expecting to possibly see some more. So if you are in this tornado watch zone here, definitely want to keep an eye out, obviously, on the severe weather threat and the possibilities for tornadoes, because we still could be expected to see some tornadoes over here. So going to keep an eye out on some of these. Let's actually head back down to this one right over here near Port Arthur. So good news, if you do live in Port Arthur, you are going to be seeing a big break here with that thunderstorms. The storms are going to be gone here. We know we got a lot of very strong storms right in this region right here. A lot of lightning continuing on, and it does seem like we actually have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued. So let's actually run over to that one really quickly here. Here it is. It's including Lake Providence. We could be seeing this brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued here. So brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued here for Lake Providence, or just west and southwest of Lake Providence here. Still a radar indicated rotation here, but we've been seeing a pretty decent kind of rotation on this one, on this storm here. And it would be sitting right in here. That's where that kind of where that dead zone is on the radar. This will be pushing up to the northeast as well, but strong storm continuing to move up to the northeast here. So right now, tornado warning. This will possibly be heading for Lake Providence here. So let me take a look and see on this brand new one, see how fast this storm is moving, so we kind of can draw it out here for you. So this is moving northeast here at 40 miles an hour. So if we draw it right here, 40 miles an hour, calculating that. So it does seem like, so Warden and Floyd, I know it says population 0, but just in case if you live in any of those areas or know someone, make sure to let them know. 2 minutes here for Warden and then 18 minutes for Floyd. We'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this one here, just in case if it does choose to put down any type of tornado or anything like that. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that one very, very closely here. But that's the newest tornado warning right now. That's our newest tornado warning. Let's take a look here. Let's kind of go through back these tornado warnings here and kind of see what we're looking at here with the updates coming in. See these updates here. All right, so taking a look here at this tornado warning down here near Port Arthur. Very strong tornado that is still probably continuing to move. Very tight rotation still continuing on. Oh wow, yeah, this tornado just not wanting to let go. And then you can clearly see, taking a look at that correlation coefficient, very strong tornado continues, and there's plenty of debris up in the air there for us to indicate that there is a dangerous tornado right now on the ground. The good news is this isn't near any big populated areas, but very, very dangerous and large destructive tornado right now on the ground just east of Port Arthur. This tornado warning has now been observed. We have an observed tornado right now actually on the ground here. This is going to be near Woodworth and all of that, as this got updated here. An observed tornado now on the ground here. Let's take a look at that velocity signature. Not seeing anything too clear on the velocity map, but we can see maybe a correlation coefficient. Not much. Definitely seems like, yeah, so not much. That one's a little bit hard to spot. Maybe rain wrapped with that one here. And I do think we have, yep, so we have a brand new tornado warning right now. So let's get to that one. And this does include that one area here, down here. The brand new tornado warning has now just been issued. The other one has expired. So brand new tornado warning has been issued here. This is a PDS tornado warning right now. Observed tornado, considerable threat with this storm here. And this one we've been seeing very, very strong rotation with this storm. Very, very strong tornado on the ground here. And it does seem like we're starting to lose that radar site here. So we're going to go to closer radar. Yeah, very, very strong tornado on the ground. So if you live right now, if you live in Hackberry, this storm is right now headed for your guys' direction. Hopefully it starts to weaken by then, but very, very large and destructive tornado is actually on the ground right now. So very, very large and destructive tornadoes on the ground here. Hackberry, you need to be preparing for the storm here. If we head to the correlation coefficient, very, a pretty clear sign of a debris ball right there, or that we have debris being lofted up into the air. So very, very dangerous situation right now with this storm as this continues to move off to the northeast. So if you live in Hackberry, make sure you are preparing for the storm as it is continuing to move off here to the northeast. Very, very destructive storm. This one has been going on for a pretty good amount of time here. And we've just been seeing these tornado warnings starting to pop up now here. But this is the brand new tornado warning here, 50 minutes remaining in this tornado warning. So make sure to, if you have any questions, leave it down in the chat below. And I will do my best to answer them to the best I possibly can here. But we're going to pay attention to this tornado warning because this is a very big tornado warning that we want to pay attention to. Very dangerous tornado warning. Excuse me. So that's our biggest threat right now, is that tornado warning. And this actually, this is the hard thing is that we could be seeing this going to the suburbs here of Lake Charles. So if this continues its path, we could possibly be seeing it go just down to the south of Lake Charles and Sulphur. It doesn't seem like it's going to impact any of these main areas, but we definitely could be seeing, if people do live out in this path over here. And the storm is moving around 40 miles an hour, so let's draw this out here for a little bit more of a range. Yes, so unfortunately, we could be seeing a very, very dangerous situation here. Possibly, 50,000 people could be dealing with this tornado warning here. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely here. So around 50,000 people could be dealing with this storm as it heads down to the north, as it continues to head up to the northeast. So very large and destructive tornado right now on the ground. That continues on, and then let's take a look at this one. Radar indicated here, this rotation for Interstate 55. We haven't seen anything drop from this storm here. It does seem like it's really impacting Crystal Springs now as this continues to move over here. It did go through Hazelhurst, so probably some pretty big winds did go through Hazelhurst, but it does seem like that strongest rotation sitting in right about in there, so is leaving that tornado warned zone here and continues to push over here to the northeast. So this will go east of Crystal Springs. We'll have to see if there's any new tornado warning with that one, but it doesn't seem like there has been any issued or new tornado warning with that one. But we do have a brand new tornado warning right now. So brand new tornado warning has now just been issued. This is a radar indicated one. This is just east of Liberty and Magnolia. It's just off to your west, not too far from Kentwood as well. So brand new tornado warning right here. You can see that clear rotation that is going on right here over Chipotle or Chipotle. I don't know how to exactly. Chipola. There you go. Very, kind of tightening up here, and will continue to move off to the northeast once again as well. Most of these storms are continuing to move off to the northeast, and then eventually this will make its way over here to Interstate 55. If it weakens or not, that's the big question that we'll be continuing to pay attention to here. So make sure if you are in that region that you are taking cover immediately, just in case of any big major weather issues. But let's head back down here to this tornado warning right now. Let's head back down to this tornado warning down here. This is the active one that we've been paying attention to with the very violent tornado on the ground. And if you do live, and remember, if you do live in Hackberry, please be making sure you're taking cover immediately. Very violent tornado is on the ground here. Seems like we're having, 97-mile-an-hour winds according to the radar here being seen. This will be heading over for Hackberry pretty soon. So let's hope that this completely, just starts to die down pretty quickly. But this seems like to be the track that the storm will be heading in. So we're going to keep an eye out, obviously, on that very, very closely here. So we have multiple tornado warnings active right now. Some of them are now going to expire. So yeah, some of them did expire. So we're now down to 4 tornado warnings here. So don't have as much. Let me get this out there right now for the people that are living in Hackberry. Just want to get them to be safe. We want to make sure that, this is a violent tornado on the ground, so we want to make sure that they will be safe there. I think we have another tornado warning that's just been issued. We'll get to that one. Yeah, has been issued just south of Lake Providence. So we'll get to that one here shortly. Okay, so one of them has expired right now. We have one that has expired. So we have one tornado warning that has now just expired. So we'll get to that one here. But we're going to get to the brand new one, actually, that has just been issued not too long ago here. This one's just south of Lake Providence. We have that brand new tornado warning that's continuing on. This one is radar indicated with 1 inch of hail, quarter size hail right now there. So quarter size hail, res velocity. Let's take a look. Yeah, so pretty tight rotation. Seems like it's going right over Interstate 20 or just a little bit off to the north of Interstate 20 here. This will continue to pushing off over here as well. Doesn't seem like it's going through any high populated area, but it is over Interstate 20. So if you do live in this area or you are in this tornado warning, make sure to keep an eye out, obviously, on that rotation, because if it gets stronger, could be seeing a little bit more of a different scenario here. But let's just go through these tornado warnings here. We'll go from north to south and we'll get through some of these. We only have one that is observed right now. We only have one that is observed. So taking a look at this one, radar indicated here, this does include Oak Grove here, Oak Grove Forest, Lake Providence. You guys will be probably most likely in the next one, as if this if this storm continues to be pretty strong here. Velocity signature, not seeing any clear kind of velocity in this region right here, but the storm's going to be pushing up to the northeast, and we just got an update. Does seem like it's still radar indicated. Same with this storm off to our south that we just went over, the newer tornado warning there. Let's head down over here to this tornado warning. This one's heading for Macomb. So we will definitely see here. So Macomb here, you guys probably want to be getting prepared here. Yeah. So the rotation does seem like we might be getting a little it seems like it's wanting to get its act together here. It does seem like that. So the rotation sitting right in there, so a little still broad a little bit. Will make its way over here to the northeast, and we'll see some changes with that. But if you live in Macomb, you want to pay attention to that. The correlation coefficient, possibly a tornado on the ground, possible. Possible tornado on the ground, and then this is our main tornado warning that we're paying attention to here. This one right here, this is the only observed tornado. This is for Cameron County. It's going north of you guys, and very, very, does seem like it is starting to become a little bit more broad, but still has that tight rotation as the storm continues to push off over here to the east. This is our main warning that we've been paying attention to here for a little bit. So we're going to continue paying attention to that one very closely here. Oh my goodness. Hopefully we start seeing, some of this start to start getting a little bit better, Won't be as big of an issue here. Trying to see what we can do here. But those tornado watches still continue on for the next couple of hours. I know that they do. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to be seeing those continue on. Type all these in, make sure, get them in there. But yeah, we have 4 active tornado warnings right now. Going to get that going there. So all right, so we're just going to continue paying attention to this one specifically because this is going to be heading south of Lake Charles here. So this will eventually make its way south of Lake Charles. We'll continue paying attention to that, but these tornado warnings continuing on right now. We don't have any new tornado warnings. No new tornado warnings, but we definitely are watching this one as well near Macomb. This one's in Macomb, Mississippi. So some of these will start emerging into Mississippi here. So Mississippi will start getting some of these tornado warnings here, but Macomb needs to be paying attention to this one as the velocity signature definitely showing. Oh my goodness. Showing a little bit more of a tighter storm here. That is pushing up here over here to the northeast. So a little bit more of a stronger type of storm there that we're going to be paying attention to. The correlation coefficient. We might have a small tornado on the ground. Hasn't yet been reported as observed, but we'll have to wait for that update to come in here. Yeah, so we still only have one observed tornado on the ground right now. But if you're curious, this is the tornado watch. Expires 4 hours 22 minutes right now, so we still have a while left to go on this tornado watch. This includes majority here of Louisiana heading into western Mississippi, so that does include Jackson, Lake Providence, Monroe, and then we'll also be seeing it here in Lafayette. Baton Rouge is just off to your north, and then these ones here in Texas will be expiring pretty soon. Yeah, so these ones off here near east of Houston. This one expires in 22 minutes here, but the other ones do expire in about 4.5 hours from now. So we still got a little while to go here. Still got a little bit while to go, but let's take a look here at these severe thunderstorm warnings because we're seeing a couple of these severe thunderstorm warnings continuing to pop up here. You definitely can see this is definitely probably a big wind threat right here with this big line. big line of wind. Alexandria, you guys are getting hammered right now, probably by some big wind. You guys have a tornado possible on your tag. Yours expires in 6 minutes. This one expires in 36 minutes. Tornado possible, 70-mile-an-hour winds. So we kind of can see that. That's all in that yellow area, and it's now arriving to Highway 165. And then we head down here to the south. This one just got issued, I believe, 51 minutes ago. Tornado not possible on this one. There's no tornado possible on this tag, but really, if you're driving on, if you're driving on Highway 165, you're definitely going to be seeing something. Really some gusty winds, and that's why, probably not the best time to travel on that highway right now. Okay, let's head back to this tornado right here. Still an observed tornado. This thing is just continuing. This storm is just continuing right now here. Very, very tight rotation still continuing on. This possibly could be heading for Hackberry. So Hackberry needs to be paying attention to this. If you live in Hackberry, take cover immediately. This is a very strong tornado that is continuing on the ground. It did start weakening a little bit, but now continuing to get its strength back together here. So please, if you live in Hackberry, be taking immediate cover right now. This is going to be a very dangerous situation. The correlation coefficient not showing as much as it did earlier. So if we take a look at what it was showing a little bit earlier, there's that debris ball that it was showing not too long ago here. Does seem like it has, kind of maybe lifted itself here, but the rotation starting to get a little bit more organized once again. Did go weaken a little bit, but if you live in Hackberry, please be taking cover immediately here. If we take a look at where the storm is headed, Hackberry, you guys have a town of around 1,384 people. So if you live in Hackberry, you need to take cover immediately. Right now, you need to take cover immediately. This is a very dangerous storm right now headed that way. Yeah, very, very dangerous storm right now that we're going to be paying attention to with that one. So haven't seen any new tornado warnings yet. The only main one that we've been really paying attention to is this one right down here. This is our main tornado warning right here, just south of Lake Charles, or just east of Port Arthur, as Port Arthur did get impacted earlier from the same storm. This one's been traveling a pretty good amount here. Let's take a look at the Macomb one, see how that rotation is doing right now. And we're just taking a look at this. The velocity signature is starting to get a little bit more broad here in this region. So that's continuing to push off over here to the northeast as well. So we're going to continue to pay attention to that. So Macomb and Magnolia, you guys need to prepare just in case. And same if you're traveling on I-55 north and you are going through these little towns. So just in case, if we see anything there. Once again, not just the tornado threat that's going to be our biggest threat, it also will be the wind threat. The wind threat has been pretty strong, I will say. The wind threat we've seen some pretty good wind that has already come by. We've seen a lot of that, so we're wanting to keep an eye out, obviously, on this very closely here. Currently, so we're keeping an eye out, obviously, on these storms as they continue to just really start to ramp up over here in the next couple of hours. I'm going to actually get this here. So, continuing the live coverage here for probably maybe the next hour or two, depends on what we are dealing with here. So we're going to continue to track these live right now. So if you are just tuning in, we have a couple tornado warnings that are active right now. We have 4 tornado warnings that are active. One of them is an observed tornado warning, and we are paying attention to that observed tornado warning as of right now. Down here, possibly headed right for Hackberry. We're going to get that update here in for you, because this is going to be something. Hackberry, please be taking cover immediately, as there is a major hurricane, major tornado threat right now actually headed for your guys' area. The velocity signature still, tight rotation, not as healthy as it was earlier, but still, once again, the storm could possibly come back down, because this one has been a jumper, and I mean, this one has continued to go up and down here, but this is considerable threat here, 1 inch in diameter for quarter size hail, and then the tornado has been observed, and we're going to see if there's any update with that one when it comes out. So we will be paying attention to that one very, very closely here. And then once again, Jackson, Alabama, or I mean not Alabama, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, paying attention to some of these storms as well. Jackson, Mississippi here, if we take a look, where's that? Yeah, so this is the storm right here earlier that did have a tornadic storm right there. It does seem like it is pushing up to the northeast, and that will eventually make its way into the suburbs of Jackson. So just in case, let's make sure, yeah, we're not seeing anything clear on the velocity, which is good news. That one did have a tornado earlier, about an hour ago, so we're going to pay attention to that one closely here. Going to pay attention to that just in case if anything, happens out of that one. This one's another one that we want to pay attention to very, very closely, because this one, I know I'm not, there we go, there's the radar thing. Sometimes you got to find it, but this tornado right here, possible heading for Macomb, still is a radar indicated tornado, so nothing observed as of right now. Taking a look at the velocity signature, does seem like there would be our biggest part of rotation sitting right in there. This is going to continue to push it off to the northeast. Interstate 55 needs to be on the lookout here for this tornado warning here. Macomb, if you live in Macomb, please be making sure you're taking immediate action when it comes to the storm here. And let me draw this out here to see how fast the storm is moving right now. So let me take a look here at how fast the storm is moving, as this is going to be heading for Macomb. This storm is moving off to the northeast at 25 miles an hour, so not moving too quickly here. So let's take a look here and kind of calculate us out here. 2,212 people are in this area, in this little blue polygon here. 52 minutes in Farronwood, 48 minutes in Magnolia here, but really Huron, Perora, you guys, around 20 minutes until the storm reaches you guys. The storm's not moving too quickly, so it does have that time to weaken, so we'll keep an eye out on that one closely here. And then once again, let's go over here to Lake Providence, because we haven't checked out these ones yet. And once again, Jackson, Mississippi, you guys are going to be getting some pretty strong storms here pretty soon, as you guys are under a tornado watch as well for the next 4 hours 13 minutes. So let's take a look at this one. Velocity signatures here, nothing too clear. Does seem like in the northern one here, just south of Lake Providence, does seem like we might have a little bit of that rotation right there that we're paying attention to very closely. And then this one, maybe a little bit of tight rotation, or a little bit of rotation just over Interstate 20. This will be going north of Vicksburg, so nothing too extreme with that one. And make sure, if you're just tuning in, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the chat below. I will try to answer them to the best I possibly can. And remember, if you do like the stream, just make sure to leave a like. But also, let's try to share out the stream to make sure, if you know anyone that does live in Louisiana or Mississippi that's going through any of this, make sure to let them know or send the stream to them, so we can try to reach and, protect people as best as we possibly can, because, I mean, we got a couple tornadoes that have been on the ground so far today. So taking a look at this one once again here, down to the south here. So the rotation is dying down a pretty good amount. The rotation's starting to die down a pretty good amount here, very, very broad now. So the good thing is, though, even though it is heading for Hackberry, the storm is starting to weaken a pretty decent amount here. So that is some good news right there. So we're going to continue paying attention to that here, and just making sure if we have any extra new warnings or anything like that. So I think for right now, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take a little break here for a second. I'll probably be back in like 2 minutes. But I will be right back, and I'll get you guys all updated once again on any new alerts that come in. So I will see you guys here in 1 second. Alrighty, we are back. Alright, so let's just hop right back into this right now here. Welcome back here. If you're just tuning in, we have a couple tornado warnings that have been issued so far. Lake Providence, you guys have 2 tornado warnings kind of active in your area right now. 2 tornado warnings in Lake Providence here, and then we have some severe thunderstorm warnings off to the south, as well as, you know, even some flash flood warnings continuing on. But majority of our things have been tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings throughout today. So we're continuing to pay attention to that one very closely here. Let's head back to the single site radar and take a look here at the tornado warnings. This one is now radar indicated, so we do have some good news here. If you do live in Hackberry, I know this storm was headed right for Hackberry. That's right in here. The good news is the velocity has really weakened over here as it is heading into Hackberry. Pretty soon here, probably in the next 10 to 20 minutes, we'll be seeing this storm heading into Hackberry right there. So the good news is that it's not on the ground anymore. And then we take a look over here at this one that is headed for Macomb. This one could be possibly a big issue here. Radar indicated this as a tornado warning here. This is going to be crossing over Interstate 55 soon, but possibly heading right for Macomb. So the velocity signature kind of showing a little bit of something here, right in that rotation zone right there. This will continue to move off to the northeast, and we're going to kind of see that over here in the next, probably a pretty good amount of time here, probably in the next 10 to 20-30 minutes. We're going to be seeing this kind of head over here into Macomb and possibly impacting here Interstate 55. I do not see any possible, we don't see any exactly correlation coefficient, anything like that, any clear sign of a tornado being on the ground, but once again, this could be heading for Macomb here. So just in case if that does kind of spawn a tornado or anything like that, Macomb, you need to be keeping an eye out on that storm very, very closely here. Taking a look here at Lake Providence, very strong tornadoes continuing on right now for Lake Providence. Very strong tornadoes, or very not strong tornadoes, but we've seen a couple strong tornadoes, but very, very strong gusty winds and large amounts of tree damage most likely will be happening kind of in this region due to those gusty winds. Some of them were reaching up here into around 70-80 mile an hour winds here. But if you take a look here at the rotations, it wasn't anything too big earlier, but does seem like it's trying to get its act together a little bit more as of right now. Not much going on in this warning down here, not much going on in that one. But we don't have any clear sight of a tornado on the ground. We haven't had a tornado, we just had this tornado warning that is down here, down to the south. That was the only one that we had that was a tornado on the ground. But that has now really hasn't been any big issue lately that, before Hackberry has started to weaken a good amount, and now it is radar indicated. So Tornado Watch still, PDS Tornado Watch continues on here. 4 hours, 3 minutes remaining here in this particularly dangerous situation here for this Tornado Watch here. Jackson, Mississippi. Let's talk about Jackson, Mississippi here, because we know this is a big city here in Mississippi, and, we have some storms that will eventually make its way over here. So possibly in the next couple of hours, we could be seeing some possible tornadic storms kind of going through the suburbs and possibly downtown Jackson here pretty soon. And there we go, we have a brand new tornado warning that has now just been issued right here. This does expire in an hour and 2 minutes. This does include Lake Providence. So Lake Providence, you are now under a new tornado warning here for an hour and 2 minutes here. So brand new tornado warning has now just been activated here, and we can clearly see that rotation once again, just like I said, trying to get its act together here as the storm continues to push up over here to the northeast. So once again, we could be seeing a possible tornado just going southeast of Lake Providence here, and possibly heading in through Cary and Rolling Fork. So we'll talk about that here in a second here. And then severe thunderstorm warnings here with tornadoes possible. Let's go to this one really quick here. So tornado is possible on this one here. See if there's any clear vision on the velocity signature. Not exactly, not have any clear vision on the velocity signature, but very, very strong winds coming in with this. Possibly 70-80 mile an hour winds are, reaching in some of these areas. Possibly, 71 in some of these areas. 80 possibly right with the front of the storm. So something to pay attention to as we go on throughout the next couple of hours as well. We're gonna, it's not just the tornado threat; it's also the big wind threat as well. So let's kind of take a look at the future radar because we haven't taken a look at that here yet. So let's take a look at the future radar. What are we expecting over here in the next couple of I guess next couple of hours, next couple of couple of minutes. What are we expecting here? So let's take a look. So 6 p.m. here, this is kind of what the radar is kind of looking like right now. It does seem like we got to go to 21Z here. Very large storms obviously going to continue on here. 7 p.m. we're going to start seeing those storms really start to possibly start getting closer to Jackson. 9 o'clock today, you guys could be getting some pretty big winds with some pretty good, strong tornadoes that could be spawning anywhere around your area. Baton Rouge as well, you guys will get hammered a little bit later tonight as well. And then the storm will just continue to move off to the east. But we kind of can see this going on throughout the night here. We're going to see that severe weather threat. But Jackson, once again, we could be seeing around 7, 8 p.m. That's when the first little supercells could be starting to arrive in that area. So as of right now, we don't have anything too big in Jackson as of right now. So that's always a good thing right there for us. But we don't have any active tornado warnings that are on the ground right now. And we're hoping that it stays that way, but no active tornado warnings that are, saying that it's on the ground. But let's go back over here to this tornado warning here for Lake Providence. This expires in 1 hour. And this is the newest tornado warning that we have active. This is the newest tornado warning that we have active right now. Currently, and these are all, so these are all radar indicated tornadoes as of right now. All right, we're going to continue on. See what we are dealing with. So if you're just tuning in here, we have a brand new tornado warning that was just issued not too long ago here for Lake Providence. Lake Providence did get that brand new tornado warning here. The velocity signature looking a little tighter and tighter every time we kind of get a new frame here. It is a little bit broad right now, but definitely is looking a little bit better than it did earlier. This is going just southeast of Lake Providence right now, so that's the good news that this will be going to the eastern part of Lake Providence, but this will eventually make its way over here into possible Rolling Fork, and we will be seeing that here. No active tornado warnings or active tornadoes that are on the ground as of right now. We don't see any active tornadoes on the ground. So that's good news right there. But severe thunderstorm warnings are continuing on as well for these tornado possible spots. Like this one that's just south of those tornado warnings right there. Not seeing any clear rotation there, but definitely a lot of strong winds will be possibly coming in with these storms as well. And then once again, Jackson, you know, seems like the storms are kind of just dying down completely as they're heading through your area. But Macomb, we're still paying attention to this tornado warning here for the next 11 minutes. Macomb, let's take a look at the velocity signature here. I don't know what in the world that is. I've never seen that color. Yeah, that's a 170 mile an hour winds. Yeah, we're going to say that's a no. That's not happening. Never seen that color before, but yeah, nothing too big on the radar right now, so that's at least good news. But the thing is, this will be heading for Macomb. So Macomb, you definitely want to be paying attention to this severe weather threat as it's going to be heading through your area soon. So we'll keep an eye out, obviously, on that here. And then a tornado watch, still a PDS tornado watch currently. The good news is, you know, finally we've seen, you know, a little bit of a different scenario. This tornado warning that was, you know, that's really just been tracking itself has down here to the south has expired. So we don't have that anymore, but we still have 4 tornado warnings active right now as we speak. We have these 4 tornado warnings active and continuing to be active at this time. So we're seeing a lot going on currently, but no major changes here with the tornado warnings that we've been seeing. No big changes. So yeah, no massive changes or anything like that here, but Jackson, definitely you guys later tonight will be getting some pretty big storms here. The question is obviously how, you know, strong will Jackson, you know, Mississippi, how strong will those storms be for you guys? That is the big question here, but it doesn't seem like right now you have any massive storms that are going through your area. But once again, you know, I mean, we've seen a little bit of these rotations kind of, you know, forming in this northern part of the storm. And once again, these will kind of push off to the northeast. So kind of for Jackson, you kind of need to pay attention to any of this area right here. That's not a very strong, you know, storm area as of right now. So kind of just watching that closely here, just paying attention to that. But, yep, not much is going on as of right now. We don't have any main cities or anything like that, main big areas here. Under any tornado warning or anything like that. So, we are going to probably end the live here. And if there is any new, or if there's any major outbreak later, especially, you know, if Jackson, Mississippi has any big issues, I will go live once again talking about that. I'll have a major live coverage or an emergency live coverage there for Jackson, Mississippi, if there's any tornado warnings there, or if it gets any more chaotic. So, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day as well, and I hope you all are staying safe out there. If you are involved or you're, you know, in these areas, make sure you're staying safe. Please make sure you're staying safe, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. But as of right now, yeah, the tornado warning is just, they're starting to calm down a little bit, it seems, so not too big, no major tornadoes on the ground as of right now, and it will be starting to weaken a little bit more here as we go on. But yeah, we're going to end the stream here. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. And if there's any big updates coming in for Jackson, Mississippi, I will make sure we have any, you know, I will make sure we have an emergency schedule for that. So we're just gonna trying to get all this there. There we go. So hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Please make sure you're staying safe if you live in any of these areas, and I hope to see you guys all in the next video and all of that. So thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.